Hello, amwezi niambia sija unmute. Amwezi niambia sija unmute. Mimi naongelea mambo yangu. Watu wanasemanga mwalimu huja unmute. Anyway, I was saying that when we talk about extension of median, we're talking about quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. And we are saying that this is the method by which the median is determined, can be further be extended, can be further be extended, can be further be extended, can be further be extended to divide a series into more than two parts. To divide a series into more than one part. To divide a series into more than one part. Into more than more than two parts. So in the situation where we can extend our median, so that our median can be further extended to a series of more than two parts, so to call the extension of median. So to call the extension of median. So that situation where we can extend our median, a situation where we can extend our median into a series of more than two parts, so to call the extension of median, and they include the following. We have the quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. It is usually the tendency to divide the series, right? It is usually to divide. It is always the same tendency to divide the series.
Vivian.
Into 4, 10, or 100 parts, or 100 parts. So it is usually the tendency to divide the series into 4, 10, or 100, or 100 parts, or 100 parts, or 100 parts. In case you cannot see my board, mtaniambia ni weke lights on in case. So the lights is not on. So the lights are not on. So in case, but let us continue. The values of item which is divided into series. So the values of the item which is divided, I might recite it. Okay. The values, the value of items. The value of items which divide the series. Which divide the series. Which divide the series. Which divide the series into 4 equal parts. Into 4 equal parts is called. Now, what do we call that kind of an item? Where the series, where the value of the item in the series are divided into 4 equal parts. What do we call it? We call them quartiles. Those are the quartiles. Quartiles. Now, in an exam, you can define what's a quartile. So if in an exam, they ask you to define what's a quartile, we shall say these are the values of item which divide the series into 4 equal parts. Into 4 equal parts. Yeah. Let us move forward. Then we say the value of items. The value of items which divide. So the value of item which divide the series into 10 equal parts. Equal part is called. Now, you know, so what are we call that kind of an item? Where the value is divided into 10 equal parts. Where the values. Yes. The answer is deciles. So you can call them deciles. So deciles. So we call them deciles. Next, talk about the value of item. The value of item. The value of items which divide the value of item which divide the series into what? Into 100 equal parts. Into 100 equal parts is called. Now, what do you call that such kind of an item? What do you call that? Yes?
Percentage.
Yes. Percentage. It's called percentage. Now, Nicole, I was to ask you, is the board clear? Or I put the right on? Evo. Yeah, do you think it's better?
Zima light.
Yes. Now, I think that one is fine. I can say, this is just an addition. In case you find this figure, they also represent median, but at a different level. So we say the second quartile, quartile, the fifth decile, and 50th percentile. So if you compute these three, it will be equal to the median. Will be with the median. So you compute the second quartile or the fifth decile or the 50th percentile, it will be equal to the median. Then we say the value of item, dividing the value of item dividing the first half of the series. The first half of the series. So the value of dividing the first half of the series into two equal parts. Into two equal parts is called first quartiles. So the value of item dividing the first half of the series into two equal parts is what we call the first quartile. Is what we call the first quartile, or the lower quartile, or the lower quartile, or the lower quartile. Then the value of items, dividing the latter, Now the latter is the second half. Remember the first half. Now the second half. So the value of the item dividing the latter half of series into two equal parts. So the value of the item dividing the latter half into two equal parts is called third. To indicate third quartile or upper quartile. So the value of the item dividing the latter. So remember the first half. When you divide the first half, it is called the first quartile or the lower quartile. Now, what about the second half? The second half is the latter half. Now that is what we call the third quartile, or the upper quartile. So called the upper quartile. Now NB, the process of calculating quartiles, deciles, and percentiles is the same as the one for median. So we can write NB so that we can do a question and the illustration. The process of calculation of quartiles, deciles, and percentiles is also the same as median. Is also the same as median. This is also the same as median. Is also the same as median. That one is okay. Now formulas. Some formulas here. Quarter one. Now if you want to calculate quarter one, then we say to be the size of the bracket n over 4. Nth item. Q2, size of 3 over n for nth item. Q3, size of, you can draw correctly, not Q3, Q1, this is supposed to be Q3. So hapa tunaenda kwa D. Decile 4 itakuwa size of 4 n over 10 and the item. Umeelewa kwa nini? Bado niko. Sasa Q1 is equal to size of n over 4 then the item. Q3 the size of 3n over 4, then the item. Then the phone is the size of 4n over 10. Then we can talk about P percentile. So 65%. What about 65%? Percent of 65? Itakuwa ni size of 64 n over 100 and item. And item. Q1 represents the first quartile. First quartile. First quartile or the lower. Quartile. Q3 represents the third quartile. Third quartile represents the third quartile. Hapo nitaita the hapa. Hapa quartile. D4 the fourth decile. Then the other one is 65 percentile. 65 percentile. Now we have some data here. We have some data where we want to calculate the median. Now, tunatumia two different kind of data. We shall use two different kinds of data. Q1, where is it? Q1 is n over 4. Q3 is 3n over 4. Now we shall use two types of data. Let me see if we have a good data that we can use. Let me find if we have a data that we can make use of in this situation. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. We're talking about quartiles and percentiles. Kama iko nayo. Quartiles, percentiles. Quartiles, percentiles. Now we have a data here. But before we go to this data, let me go with this kind of a data first. We have two types of data we can use. So allow me to wrap this one. We write an illustration. So illustration. So write illustration. So illustration. We make use of illustration here. Let's see. Now calculate D1 for illustration. Calculate Q1, Q2, not Q2, Q3, D7, and P85. P85 from the following data. From the following data. Calculate Q1, Q3, D7, and P85 from the following data. Now, hii data ni mrefu. It is earnings in thousands. We have earnings. The data are in thousands for earnings. And then employees. Now, when the earning is 11,000, we have 3 employees. 12, 6, 13,000, 10 employees. 14,000, 15 employees. 15,000, 24 employees. 16,000, 42 employees. 17,000, about 75 employees. 18,000, 19 employees. 19,000, 79 employees. 20,000, 25 employees. 20,000 is supposed to be I. 18 is 90, 19 is 79. 20,000, 55 employees. 21,000, 36. 21,000, 36. 22,000, 26 employees. 23,000, 19 employees. 24,000, 13 employees. Then 25,000, 7 employees. Now determine Q1, Q2, and Q3 from that kind of a data. Determine Q1, Q2, and Q3 from that kind of a data. Now, what was the formula from our previous one? From our previous medium. So, for median, when we use this formula, for median, if you were to use to calculate median, you get to me either n over 2, either item, ama ingekuwa ni n plus 1 over 2, n the item. Now, if this one, comma, we're going to calculate the median. We're going to calculate median in the normal way, without mambo na percentage, blah, blah, blah. Now, in this case, yes, we are calculating median, but considering the level. So you have quarter 1, quarter 3, D7, and P85. Now, we shall use the same concept that we were using the previous one, but in a different manner. We shall take into account the quota or the level where we are. Now, the process report tunatafuta nini? Tunaanza na earnings, so solutions. So in case you cannot see my board, utaniambia giza ikiingia. Now we need to find the, so tunaanza na earnings. We are starting with earnings, which we wametuambia ziko in thousand. We know the answer in thousand. So we have 11, 12, 13, 14, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Inafuatana. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Inapotea. Can you see the board? I think I will need to put that one on. I think I'll need to put the right on now. Now employees. Remember our employees is our frequency. So tunaanza na kwanza ni 3. Naenda ni wa pili ni 6, 10, 15, 24, 42, 75, 90, 79, 55, 55, 36, 26, 19, 13, and 7. Now, if you find cumulative frequency, frequency. So the first one always the same. 3 with 3. Write that my calculator. Now, taki nipote barabarani. Let me just close all the items. I am in the cumulative frequency of the answer. Nikiteranga hizi mara 4. Hizi hazijambatana. But ita sio mbaya. Barake, you know what we are doing. Haya. So itakuwa ni 9. Itakuwa ni 19, sivyo? So 19 plus 15 is 34 plus 24, 58 plus 42, 100 plus 75, 175 plus 90, 265 plus 79, 344 plus 55, 399 plus 36, 435 plus 26, 461 plus 19, 480 plus 13, 493 plus 7, 500. Now we are using the same formula that we were using in our previous plus. Now, let's start with Q1. Q1, which is the median. Let us find the median for Q1. So the median for Q1, we said, will be the size of because of space. Q1 size of the bracket n over 4 and item. Tulisema hivyo, so itakuwa ni size of. Now what's our n? Our n ni 500 over 4 of the end item. Unapata ngapi? Ngapi? 500 divided by 4.
125.
Yes. 125. Now where does it lie? Where does 125 lie?
Between
at
the
175.
175. Now what's our median? Q1 is? This is our median. 17. I compare Q3. Size of itakuwa ni 3 n over 4 and item. Now it will be the size of, what's our n? 23 times 3 times 500 over 4 and item. Unapata ngapi? How much are you getting? How much are you getting?
375.
375. Where does it lie? 375. Where does it lie? For 399. Simple. So kama inalai kwa 399, our median in this case is 20. Now Q3, which is our median, is 20. Find for me D7. Find for me D7. 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 Kama napatia formula. So kumbuke ya desa hii inamaanisha 10. Itakuwa ni size of 7n over 10. Of the end term. Of the end item. Na itakuwa ngapi? Size of 7 times 500 over 10. And item. Mnapata ngapi? Delinda
350.
Adibeni unasema ngapi?
350.
350. Where does it lie? Nalai kwa 399.
399.
So meaning our D7, which is our median, is the same as 20. Mnifanyia mwisho P 85. So I'm expecting the answer from Ledisha. Give us the answer. Now, where does 425 lies?
At 435.
No, 399. Ama 425 imefikia 435 kweli? Ama mnasemaje? 425. Where does it lie?
425. 435.
5.
435.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mbona 435 na namba hilo haijafika hapo? So the median,
But may exceed 399.
oh, it may exceed 399. Okay, that one is okay. Now let us see in the case where our data now changes from this kind of a data, discrete to continuous. This one is discrete data, discrete. So let us change from discrete data to continuous data. So example, illustration. Allow me to have this illustration. So this will mark the end of this question. That's how you are supposed to handle that kind of a question in case you find it in an exam. So in case you find it in an exam, that's how you are supposed to handle the question. Now let me drop this one. So we do another illustration so that we can go to our past paper. So illustration, calculate the value of Q1, Q3, D3, and P40. And P40. So calculate the values of, calculate the values of, so calculate the values of, nasema, calculate the values of Q1, Q3, D3, and now P40 from the following data. From the following data. From the following data. So calculate the value of Q1, Q3, D3, and P40 from the following data. This is our data. Now it is continuous. We have the marks, and the number of students. Number of students. Now between marks, between 0 to 10, 2 students were required within that range. Between 20, 10 to 20, the number of students were required is saba. Between 20 to 30, the number of students were required is 21. 30 to 40, 25, 30 to 40, 30 to 40, 30 to 40 walikuwa 25, 40 to 50.
Board. Board imepotea.
4 to 50 ni 30.
Board height.
Okay, yeah, sawa nimesikia. Forty to 50 is 30. Then 50 to 60 is 35. 50 to 60 is 35. 60 to 70. 28. 70 to 80. 12. Now you need to find the solutions. We need to find the solution. We need to find the solution for that one. So we need to find the solution for that one. Now, I think you can see the board. Now we need to find the solution for that one. So how do you do the solution? We use the formula for median. So we use the formula. Okay. Let's do the solution. Now we need to find the midpoint. So we need to find the midpoint. Actually, the midpoint is not important. The midpoint is not important. No need for the midpoint. So we start with the max. A number of students, the frequency. Change it to frequency. Number of students, this is the number of students. And then cumulative frequency. So tunaanza na ya kwanza, between 0 to 10 ni 2. Cumulative ni 2. Between 10 to 20 ni 7. Cumulative 2 plus 7 ni 9. Between 20 to 30 ni 21. So 21 plus 9, which is 30. Between 30 to 40, 25. Now 35 plus 30 plus 25, which is 55. Between 40 to 50, 30. So itakuwa ni ngapi? Itakuwa ni 85. 85. So ni 55. So yes, 85. And then kutoka 40 to 50, 50 to 60. 50 to 60, 35. So plus 35, which is 120. Alafu kutoka 50 to 60, 60 to 70, which is 28, but 148. Then from 70 to 80, 12. So 148 plus 12, 160. Now we have all our cumulative. Now rather than Q1. Q1, remember the formula for Q1 is the same. Q1 ni n over 2. Q1 ni n over 4, I mean. N over 4, quarter 1. The one A plus I over F N over 4 minus C. What we find in the previous class, remember what those mean? That wasn't the first one. That wasn't N over 4. Now our N is 160. So N over 4 is equal to 160. So our N here, each in the here is 160. So get is the total frequency in the N over 4, which is that 40? Now that 40, where does the 40 lies? Where does the 40 lies? Muniambie?
At 55.
So at 55. Now at 55, this is our line. Now what's our lower class boundary? Our lower boundary? That and 40. What's our lower boundary? So L ni
30.
that. Aya. We have N over 4, we know it is 40. That one is okay. What about our C? Cumulative frequency. Now cumulative frequency itakuwa ngapi? So the cumulative frequency before our line. So before our line ngapi? This 30. 30. What's our I? Our I is our interval. So interval 40 minus
10.
40 minus 30 is 10. Our frequency
25.
25. Let's find the Q1 of that information. Itakuwa ni 30 plus 10 over 25, 40, n over 4 day, 40 minus 30. What will be a Q1? Q1.
37. 34.
30?
4.
34. So this is our median. Now next time tuambia Q3. Our formula itakuwa ni L plus I over F 3N over 4 minus C. That will be our formula. So because it's quarter 3, itakuwa 3N over 4. 3N over 4. Now, itakuwa ngapi? Yes. But ukumbuka for median, the normal median. Ukumbuka the normal median inakuwa divided by N over the normal median. Tulifanya previous class. Kama include mambo na quartile, deciles, percentiles. Now, Kate, give us the value of 3N over 4. Itaenda aje? Itakuwa ni 3 times
160.
160 divided by
Divide by 4.
what is your figure?
120.
180.
120.
120. Now, where does it lie? So our 120. So tafuta hii so that we have a new one. So where does 120 lie? Yes. Faith, that was yours. No, tuende kwa Eugene kwanza. Eugene umenyamaza sana. Eugene, where does 120 lie? Okay,
50
anyone else?
to 60.
Volunteer. Okay, hakuna mwenye ana volunteer. So ina lie hapo.
50 to 60.
Now tell me our L. So what would be our L? In that case,
35.
lower class. So between 50 and 60, just the lower one.
50.
50.
50. What would be our I interval? Our
10.
I interval.
10.
10.
Our I is 10. Frequency
35.
35. CM cumulative frequency iko nyuma yake
85.
85.
Yeah.
Now let us find our Q3. Itakuwa ni 50 plus 10 over 25 over 3 over N4 uliniambia ni 120 minus 3 which is 85.
Over 35.
Unasema unapata 35.
Kwa under frequency 35. Umeweka 25.
Ati frequency unapata ngapi?
Ni 35 umeweka 25. Hapo kwa calculation.
Hapa ni 25.
35.
35.
Sasa hapo kwa
Bafani.
calculation of Q3 hapo.
Amesema 35. Inakuja ngapi?
60.
Ati ngapi?
60.
60. That's our median for Q3. That's the median for Q3. Now let us do next ilikuwa ni D3. Now our D3 itakuwa ni L plus I over F. Now D ilikuwa inamaanishaje? D ilikuwa inamaanishaje?
Decile.
10.
Decile. Yes, decile ni ngapi? Ni 4 ama ni 5 ama ni 6?
Ni 10.
10.
10. So but ni ya D3 itakuwa ni 3 10 over 10 hivyo, sivyo?
Yes.
Minus cumulative
Yeah.
frequency. Minus cumulative frequency. Now let us find 3. Let us find 3 n over 10. Now nani anatupatia hiyo? Vitalis, give us the answer. Itakuwa ni 3 times. Vitalis 3 times. Saidiane hapo jameni.
16.
3 times
160.
over
10.
unapata ngapi?
10.
48.
48.
48. Why does 48 right?
Under
Eh?
55.
55.
Hapo. Unasema ionekani? Unasema ionekani ni weke the right zone. Ama iko sawa. Now what's our L? Our L is that. That's the lower class. Haya, frequency 25. Ndio hiyo hapo. Haya, C, our cumulative frequency, the one which is above our normal, which is that. Now let us do this one. So D3 itakuwa ni 30 plus tumesema ni 10 I change. Frequency yetu tumesema ni 25. 3n over 10 ndio hii hapa. 48 minus 25. Mnapataje? What are you getting?
37.2.
Yes?
7.2.
Okay.
37.2.
47.2.
37.
37.
37.2.
It's supposed to be 48
37.
minus 30.
At 48 minus 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minus 30. Atumalizia ya mwisho. P40. Itakuwa ni R. I over F. Now, P inamaanisha P40
Percentage.
5.
100.
40%.
inamaanisha 100. Kwa hivyo itakuwa ni 40N over 100, sivyo?
Yeah.
Minus C. Now find for me that one. So nafanya working yake hapa. So tunaanza na hii. Working ya 40N over 100. Itakuwa ngapi? 40 times 160 over 100. Hiyo ni ngapi?
64.
64. Haya, 64. What about our L? No, where does it lie? 64?
At 85.
It's 85.
Ama kwa 85? That one. Na hapo, sivyo? So kumaanisha our L ni 40. Our F frequency
But
is 30. Our C 50.
55.
55.
Yes. Sawa. Let us find it. Now our L tunaona ni 40. Hii tunaona ni 10 over. Frequency yetu ni 30. 40N ndio hapa 40N over 164 minus 55. So what is your answer?
43.
What is your answer?
43.
53.
53. That is the median of P40. That's the median of P40. Now that one marks the end of quartile and decentile. That one marks the end of quartile and decentile. Quartile and decentile. That one marks the end of quartile and decentile. Now, do you have any question you might want to ask? Now let's go to our past paper and see what they wanted us to do. Now let us open our past paper. Let me see if I can share. Yes, we have this question. Naira Tomea. Let me present it. Just a minute. I present this. Or I share this. Now, can you see my screen? Now, can you see it? This question is for which sitting? August 2024. August 2024. August 2024. Which number 2B? Now, someone will read for us. Is there in your screen?
The following frequency distribution table shows the amount of annual electricity bill obtained from a local utility company's annual report. Required, calculate the lower quartile and interpret your results. Roman 2, determine the median value of the electricity bill. 3, compute the upper quartile value of the electricity bill. 4, determine the quartile coefficient of skewedness and interpret your results.
Thank you. Now, lower quartile. Is it Q1 or Q what? And what is upper quartile? I want you to tell me. Q1 obviously is the first quarter or the lower quartile. Then Q3 is the upper quartile. Q3 is the upper quartile. Are we okay with that one?
Yes.
Yeah, the upper quartile is that quartile. So Q1 is the lower quartile, and Q3 is the upper quartile. So we did yesterday part 2. So I will not calculate median because we already did median in our previous class yesterday. So I'm concentrating with part 1 and part 3. Part 1 and part 3 at the moment. Now I'm stopping the screen sharing. So make sure you have the question so that I can go back to the board. Okay, the question is for August 2024. Question number 2B. So August 2024, question number 2B. August 2024, question number 2B. August 2024, question number 2B. I think we need now the rights. So mwangaza imeisha kabisa. Tunasema ni August 2024. So mi by kesho jioni kama uko tumemalizana kiwe kabisa. The videos are there in Telegram. Those who are yet to join the Telegram group, you can find all the videos in our Telegram channel. That one, if you need them. Okay, they are there. I also upload these lessons for descriptive statistics also. So the question is for August 2024. Question number 2B. Now it is talking about marks. Not marks, electricity bills. It is talking about electricity bills and the frequency. So electricity bills. And now, this question we need to find ukiangalia swali venye inakaa hatuwezi tufanye swali ikiwa hivyo. So we need to change the figures. Na ukiangalia this one tukitoka from 0 to 249 inaenda to 250. Now it's supposed to be so a good data inakuanga ni yenyewe from 10 to 20 Ukienda next unaanzia kwa hiyo 20 to 30. Ukitoka kwa hiyo 30 unaenda kwa 30 to 40. Lakini data yenye tuko nayo, if I check it clearly, naona inatoka from 0 to 249. Now look at this one. From 0 to 249. Now, angalia the next data inafuata. Inaanzia to 50. To 50 what? To 50 to 499. Now we cannot work with this data if it is in this manner. We need to manipulate this data a bit. Let us manipulate it. So we less 0.5, sivyo? Or we are supposed to add. So tuna add huku 0.5. Now the other side we less 0.5. So tuanze. So we are talking about electricity bills. Then frequency. Then cumulative. Now itakuwa minus 0.5. Tuadi moja huko itakuwa 249.5. So that hapa less minus itakuwa 249. This one is making sense. Yenye inaanza hapa, yenye malizia hapa, ndio inaanza hapa. Ndio hiyo. Yenye sasa imeishia hapa, ndio inaanza hapa. Tunataka yote ikuwe hivyo. So yenye imeishia hapa, ndio inafanya ianze hapa. So we add 0.5 we less minus 0.5 here. Itaenda mpaka ngapi? 499.5. Na hiyo inafaa kuwa hapa 499.5. Tunafaa kuleta zenye kwa. Kwa hiyo swali yetu 500 minus 0.5 itakuwa 499.5. And then 749 to add 5 to add 0.5 itakuwa 749.5. 749.5. Mwende mpaka mmalize. Nimechoka kwa word. Ah, 749. Inaenda mpaka ngapi?
999.5.
999.5. Haya, kwa 999.5. Inaenda mpaka ngapi?
1249.5.
Inaenda?
1249.5.
Aha.
1499.5.
Aha.
1749.5.
Next.
1999.5.
Eh?
1999.5.
Next.
Imeisha.
Haya, frequency.
3,
Aha.
10,
Aha.
8, 3, 4, 1, 0, 1.
Cumulative.
3, 13, 21, 24, 28, 29, 29, 30.
Ndio maisha hivyo. Na walikuwa kama tutafute nini ya kwanza Q hapa quartile. Tuanze na lower. Lower quartile. That is part 1. Lower quartile. We need is Q1. Itakuwa ni L plus I over F N over 4 minus C. Now tuanze na N over 4. Itakuwa ngapi? 30 over 30 over 4 ni ngapi?
7.5.
7.5.
Ati 745.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where does it lie?
13.
So it lies in 13. Now what will be our L from 13? Itakuwa 249.5,
5.
sivyo?
Mm.
Aya. Our I, the difference between the two, 499 minus 0.5 minus 249.5.
250.
Tufinje?
Yeah.
250. Aya, our C,
10.
10. Our F. Now
3.
our C, our F
F
is
ni
10.
10.
Put it
F
3.
ni 10.
Sivyo?
Mm.
C ni 13.
C ni?
3.
Sini 3.
C ni 3.
3.
Na F.
10.
Now let us find Q1, which is our lower quartile. 249.5 plus I into 50 over 10. N over 4, 7.5. N over 4 is 7.5 minus C, 3. So what will be our Q1? This is our lower quartile.
362.
260.
362.
Number 3. Upper quartile. Now the formula, L plus I over F. Itakuwa ni 3N over 4 minus C. Let us find 3N over 4, which itakuwa ni 3 times N, which is 30 total, over 4. Itakuwa ni 3 times 30 divided by 4. 22.5. Where does it lie? 22.5.
24.
24. Now from that one you can say that our L is lower one, 749.5. 749.5. Our interval is 250. Our F
3.
3.
F ni 3. 3 ni 21. 3 ni 21. Now find the answers to that. Now our L is 749.5 to 50. 250 over F. 3? Is that correct? Then 22.5 minus 21. So what is your answer? What is your answer? So 250 divided by 3. 30?
874.5.
874.5.
874.
Ai, nimefanya mambo gani hapa? 874.5.
Yes.
Now that question tumebakisha part ya mwisho. Queeness. That one shall do it later. But in the next class, I think, or I'm hopeful that when we meet in the next class, tutamalizia descriptive statistics for good. When we do Queeness and kurtosis. Now, but
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Hiyo kwa question like Roman 1 to calculate the lower quartile, how do you interpret the result?
Tunasema the lower, for you to interpret, you just say that the lower quartile, which is 874, lies. So your interpretation will say it lies between 749.5 and 999.5. Just interpret that one. It's the median. So the median lies between 749.5 and 999.5 with a frequency of 3. Sawa?
Yes.
Just interpret that manner. There's nothing good with the interpretation anyway, because we cannot say that 874 is a particular number that we can interpret. We cannot interpret it in any manner. The only manner we can interpret it is that it lies. So the bill lies between. So you shall say that the electricity bills, in terms of median, rise between 749.5 Kenya shillings and 999.5 Kenya shillings. Because I think that is all about it. There's nothing important with the interpretation. Just that way, it's fine. So nothing unique or nothing important with the explanation. Same applies to upper quartile, lower quartile. So for the lower quartile, you shall say, which is 362. And the 362 rise, so you say that the electricity bill lies between 499.5 and 749.5. There's nothing more to add because there's nothing to add. There's nothing to add in that case. Now, if we go back to the question, we have done part 1, that is the lower quartile. Yesterday we did the median, that one is okay. And part 3, upper quartile, we have done it. Part 4, determine the quartile coefficient of squeeness. Interpret your answer. That one is for another class. Or if we shall manage to do it today, that will also be okay. But let us move forward and see. Let us move forward and see kama tutafika kwa squeeness. Now, that is marks the end of median. That one marks the end of median. I think next we can go to the mode. So how do we compute mode? Now, before we see how to compute mode, let us cite a small explanation concerning mode. Let us cite a small computation concerning mode. Now let us say so we need to define what is a mode. Let's define what is a mode. And remember, it's part of measure of central tendency, remember when we talk about the measure of central tendency in our previous class, we said that the measure of central tendency represent the averages of values. And those averages, to be honest, we have the arithmetic mean, we have the median, we have the mode, and the other type of mean that you can think of. All those are measures of central tendency, and the mode is one of them. Let us define what is a mode. So remember, we are still under the measure of central tendency. So remember, we are still under measure of central tendency. Remember, we are still under the measure of central tendency. Central tendency. Central tendency. But so far, not bad. Now, I think now if you check your past paper, I think you can do the QA without any issue. Because I've been linear programming, you have done decision theory. I shared with you chi-square hypothesis. I had those when you work class physically before the school. We did Venn diagram and set theory. I shared the video also. Those who did not manage to join physically, so the video is there in Telegram. So matrices, the video is in Telegram. Maybe now we can do functions because I don't have a complete set of the videos for functions, but we can do revision for functions actually. So we can do revision for function so that we can also have the videos for function. So remember, we are remaining with 2 weeks, but QA mean on measure with my gauge. If we finish this topic, I think tutakuwa tumebakisha kitu kidogo sana ofisi tuta brush kufanya maswali. Now, let us explain what is a mode and why is it important to us. Mode, watu wanasemanga it's the most repeated number in the series. So when you find a number which is most repeated, you can conclude that that one is the mode. I don't know if that is correct with you, but it can make sense. So we say it is the value. It is the value of the item. It is the value of the item which occur most frequency. Which occurs most frequency. Most frequency in a series. That number that is repeated mostly in a series is what we call a mode. If the most frequent value is required, then the mode is the appropriate average. Then the mode is appropriate average. We say if the most frequent, if the most frequent value is required, then you can say mode is the most appropriate value. Appropriate value. Now, if the most frequent value is the one which is required, then the mode will be the most appropriate average, not value. Most appropriate average. Be the most appropriate. It will be the most appropriate average. Now, you can say mode cannot always be recorded. Mode cannot always be located. Now that is correct. Now sometimes unaweza pata that the problem haina frequency. Now if you don't have the frequency, now you cannot locate the mode. So sometimes the mode cannot always be recorded. We say sometimes there is no frequency. There is no frequency occurring. Sometimes there is no frequency occurring value. And in this case, there is no mode. So kwa swali kama hakuna frequency, then we'll kujua there is no mode. If there is no frequency, there is no mode. In other cases, what you say? In other cases, there are two or more modes. We find a question iko na more than two modes. We find a question has more than two modes. Aya, let us see what we can say. What we can add. Calculation of mode from individual series. Calculation of mode from individual series or data. Now we say from individual series, mode is obtained through observation. Mode is obtained through observation. So when you talk about the individual series, the mode is obtained through observation. We say the value of item, the value of that item, whatever the value of that item, hii haionekani hapo. The value of that item, the value of that item, which occur maximum, number of times. Is the mode. Now let us see example or illustration. illustration. The marks for 10 students. The marks for 10 students. The marks for 10 students in a test. Are under students. Then you have the marks. So tuko na 1, 65, 2, 43, 3, 57, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mpaka 10. So 4, 63, 39, 57, 60, 48, 57, 55. Find out the mode. Find out the mode. The solution. Find out the mode. Now you said the mode is the number of students that has been repeated in most cases. Now in that one, which kind of students are most repeated? Yes. So which marks?
50,
Marks gani
57.
imekuwa repeated mostly? 50?
7.
57 is the most repeated item. It's repeated 3 times. So 57, the most repeated time. So the mode is 57. We say through observation. Through observation. Remember that it's through observation, as we have said. Through observation, we can find out. That 57 is repeated 3 times. Repeated 3 times. Hence, the mode. The mode is 57. So the mode. So 57 marks. So a lot of students scored 57 compared to the other marks. So in that case, we can conclude and say that the mode is 57. Now that is for individual series. We don't need to do another illustration for that one. So because that one is not that common. Now we need to do for continuous. So we need to do for continuous series. So calculation of mode for continuous series. Calculation of mode from continuous series. So calculation mode from a continuous series. From continuous series. Now calculation of mode from continuous series. Now continuous series, those are the series which they are continuous in nature. From 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, blah blah. Kisonga. Now, how do we compute at this mode when we are talking about this kind of an item? We have 2 formula. We can make use of 2 formula. Actually 3 of them. Now you shall pick the one which is favorable for you. Now I will give you 3 formulas. We shall try and use all those 3 formulas. You can get the same answer. But in exam, you can always pick one of them. In exam, you can always try and pick one of them. Okay. Now, there are three different formulas. See? There are three different formulas. There are three different formulas to calculate mode from continuous series. Continuous series. The first one mode L plus Fm minus Ft. So make it big. Find a good space. Fm minus Ft over Fm minus is this F1 supposed to be F1. I don't know. To confirm by that. But I think it's F1. Then Fm minus Fs. Then what you get, you multiply with x I. So in short, you multiply with the interval. In short, you multiply with the interval. You have another mode formula. L plus F2 over F1 plus F2 to multiply with the interval. You can draw a line. So in number 1, number 2. So those are number 1 and number 2. Number 3, really nimeandika hapa. Way to get the mode, the one is 3 median minus 2 AM. Who knows what does 2 AM means? What is 2 AM means?
Arithmetic.
Blood.
What does yes?
Order ionekani.
Mean.
Because scale anaongea.
2 times arithmetic mean.
Yes. It's 2 times arithmetic mean. It's 2 times the arithmetic mean. 2 times arithmetic mean. Now, allow me to drop the upper part. Allow me to drop the upper part. Let us give the abbreviations. Let's give the abbreviation of these items. What is FM? What is blah blah blah? So that we can do a question now. I'll give the abbreviations. Now L means lower class boundary of the group, model group. L lower class boundary of model group. the lower class model group. FM, do you have FM? Frequency of model group. Frequency of model group. F1. F1. Frequency of group. Frequency of group. Proceeding. Proceeding. Model group. Proceeding model group. F2. Frequency of the group. Frequency of the group. Frequency of the group following model group. Following model group. I, magnitude of class interval. Magnitude of class interval. Magnitude of class interval of model group. Model group. Now it's a model group. Model group. Model group is the group. Is the group possessing largest frequency. Possessing largest frequency. Largest frequency. That's the model group. So that one is the model group. So the group which possesses the maximum or the largest frequency, so which possesses the largest frequency. Now there's a small notes here. I think it is important if we also talk about them. So we have just a small notes that we can use to explain also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
What about FT?
F. That's
FT.
like F1.
F1, okay.
I'll put it as F1. 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 Not FT. You change on to F1. It's supposed to be this one. Is F1. Now, I want us to write this something small, very important. Now, inasema NB to locate the model group. To locate the model group, there are two methods. There are two methods. Now to locate the model, or to make the model group which possesses the largest frequency, we can use two methods. Number one, the first method is to find the first method is to find. Now the first method is to find. Nimetoka kwa laini. Wote niende hapa chini yake. You see that the first method, so hapa number one, the first method is to find the group possessing highest frequency. So that is the first method. Locate the group possessing the highest frequency. This method is good. This method is good or is appropriate. It's appropriate where series are symmetrical. Where the series are symmetrical. Then we say in this case, highest frequency, highest or the maximum frequency occurs only once. In this case, the maximum frequency occurs only one time. Occurs one time. That's number one. So that is the first method to find the model group. In that case, to find the model group or the group possessing the largest or the highest frequency or the highest or the largest frequency. In the first method, we find the group possessing the largest frequency or the highest frequency. Now, this method is appropriate when the data is symmetrical. Now, the data is symmetrical in situation where the maximum figure or the maximum frequency occurs only once or one time. Let's go to the second method. The second method is applied in the case of non-symmetric data. The second method is applied in the case of non-symmetric non-symmetrical data or series. I use the word series. Get the word series. That one is okay. If maximum frequency occurs twice. Now, if the maximum frequency occurs twice, then this is non-symmetrical. Then this is non-symmetrical series. Now, if the maximum frequency occurs twice, then that is an symmetrical series. This method is called grouping method. This method is called grouping method. This method is called grouping method. It's called grouping. Method is called grouping method. This method is called grouping method. Now we need to do an illustration. We need to do an illustration. we need to do an illustration. So we need to do an illustration. Now illustration. Illustration. Illustration copy. Ni kadogo sana haka. Tuanza na ka smallest one. Na tukisonga kidogo. Na hata side illustration here. Now illustration. Calculate the mode from the following data. Repeat mode from the following data. Calculate the mode from the following data. Now we have max 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Frequency, number of students, the frequency. Number of students, 2, 7, 11, 6, and 4. Now you have that information. So you are supposed to calculate mode from that kind of an information. Now we can use the formulas that we gave. So kuna some formulas that we gave. We can make use of those formulas. We can make use of those formulas. So ya kwanza, hiyo formula inaendaje? Ilikuwa FM minus F1 FM minus F2. Nakaa hivyo. Now tuanze. What's our L? Now our L unaangalia kwa the most repeated. Now what's our most repeated maximum frequency? Yes.
11.
Most repeated, which is our FM. Silvio. So our FM
11.
11. Now what would be our L? So
20.
itakuwa
20.
20. F1. Now F1 we said frequency of group preceding the model proceeding 11. Which item is proceeding 11?
7.
Yes.
7.
7. That is correct. We also need F2. Now F2 tulisema frequency of the group following the model group. Which one?
6.
F2.
6.
Frequency of the group following. 26.
6.
Yes.
Hiyo ndio iko chini ya model group. So in short, F1 iko above the model group. F2 iko below the model group. Tuko sawa? So that I think will be enough. Sema hivyo. So F1 iko above the model group. F2 iko below the model group. Tuko sawa?
Yes.
So hiyo inaweza kusaidia pia. Nasema F1 above model group. F2 below model group. Now, remember model group where the frequency is highest, which is 11. So we have above and below. Now, what's our mode? Itakuwa ni 20 plus FM 11 minus 6 over 11 minus 6 times 11 minus no. F1 equal 7 minus 7, then you minus 6. Now we multiply with the interval. Now what's our interval between the two? I and tuko tumesema our I. Our interval ni ngapi?
10.
10. Find the models. That's number 1. That's formula A. That is formula A. So unapatanga answers zinakuwa zimekaribiana. So what you get zinakuanga karibu zifanane. So si lazima ikuwe the same answer the way it is, but approximately so about 24 point something, ingine itakuwa 24 point something still. Now let's see 11 minus 7 divided by 11 minus 7, 11 minus 6 times 10, 20. Napata ngapi? Mama mimi napata vitu zangu.
22.
Wewe ngoja. Hapa kuna plus. Kindly change this one. Hapa kuna plus. Put hapa plus there. Kati. Inafaa kuwa na plus. So urudi kwa nyuma uchange pia. Weka plus. So 11 minus 7 plus 11 minus 6. 11 minus 7, that's my answer, times 10 plus 20. About 24.44. So our mode is 24. 24.4. So our mode 24.44. Let's go to the second one. The second formula equal energy. The second formula equal energy. Equal L mode L plus F2 over F1 minus F2. What to get you multiply with the interval. Now, the information you need to battle hapa, which we have it here. We use this information. So 20 plus F2 is 6 over 6 plus 7 times 10. Iko sawa? So 6 plus 7, 6 divided by answer times 10 plus 20. 24.61. 24.61. That is the model class. If you use that formula, that will be the model class. If you use that formula, then kuna ya mwisho, of which I'm not going to use it. Nyinyi mtaenda kufanya baadaye. Mode. Ilikuwa na 2 am. Remember the one for 2 am? 3 median. 3 median minus 2 arithmetic mean. Now you can calculate mean, median, multiply by 3, then we calculate arithmetic mean, multiply by 2. You will get approximately that answer. You shall get approximately that answer. Do you need to do that? Is there any need to do that one? Because I need to find the median, I also need to find the arithmetic mean. Is there a need?
No.
Yes.
Fanya.
Yes.
Fanya.
Yes, I'm saying no. Now, after median, after mode, we shall come and do another question for mode, where utapata that our frequency now, utapata 11, inapia kama mara 3, but the maximum. Unapata a figure like 11, sasa imepia mara moja. Now, what if you find a question where your frequency, the maximum frequency 11, equal more than twice, more than 2? How do you do it? Now, I will look for a question tomorrow to find you, because that one you can find it in an exam. So that one, most likely, you can find it in an exam. So I will find a question, we'll find a question. But for now, this is method 1. Itakuja kufanya method 2 later or tomorrow. So for now, acha tufikie hapo for mode, just for mode. Because that one is complicated, I need to find a good question. Now, advantages and disadvantages of mode. Advantages and disadvantages of mode. Advantages and disadvantages of mode. So those are advantages of mode. Number one of the advantage is easy to understand. It is easy to understand. Number 2, extreme items. Extreme items do not affect the values. Extreme items do not affect its value. And then it is simple, or it possesses the merits of simplicity. So it possesses it possesses the metric merits, not metrics, merits, any advantages. So it possesses the advantages of simplicity. Disadvantages, talk of disadvantages. Number one, it is not often clearly defined. It's not often clearly defined. Number B, exact location of the mode. Exact location of the mode. Exact location of the mode is often uncertain. It's often uncertain. 3, it is not suitable. It is not suitable for further algebraic treatment. Algebraic treatment. Number 4, the last one. It does not take into account extreme values. Extreme values. It does not take into account the extreme values. Those are some of the disadvantages and advantages of mode. Now remember, put us somewhere that method 2 hatujafanya, so that in case nisahau uniambie. So kesho method 2 tunafanya the first method where we find that we have only one maximum frequency. Okay, so tumefanya ya kwanza for mode, and the second one, this one, we only have the maximum value. Now the first one haina shida. The first one tulifanya tulichukua the most maximum, hiyo ni rahisi. Now when we have individual data or the discrete data where we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 without the range, hiyo ni okay kwa sababu unaangalia the most repeated items. Then the most repeated, the maximum repeated item is your what? Is your interval. Sivyo? Now, but in this case, now in this one, ukipata we have 11, 11, 11, mara tatu, for example, as your maximum, then you shall not use the formula, and you shall not say that 11 is the most repeated as our mode. We shall do it another way, where we have this kind of data. But that one is only this kind of data, and that's why I'm telling you, we're to find a kesho where we have this kind of data to do mode. But that one is okay. Now, properties of mode. Properties of mode. Properties of mode. Properties of mode. And that properties of mode, ni mbili tu. You only have two properties of mode, and that one will mark the end of mode until tomorrow. That will mark the end of mode until tomorrow, where we shall come and do method 2. So method 2 tutafanya kesho, so that in case you put an past paper in your exam, I mean, you shall be able to do it. Now let's see the properties of mode. You only have two properties, and those two properties will mark the end of mode until you do the method 2, the grouping method. The grouping method. So that if you do properties of mode, you mark the end of mode until we do the property, the method number 2, which is called the grouping method. Which is called the grouping method. Now let us see how this how we can see the properties of mode. So our time is question Aisha. We have like 9 minutes. We have like 9 minutes. Tomorrow we shall meet very early. So today we had an issue with net. I was trying we meet in the morning and also master kama sai. So tungemaliza hii descriptive statistics. But because net was not working, then we couldn't do the class. Now we have two properties of mode. Property number one. Mode represents the most typical value. The most typical value. So mode represents the most typical value of the distribution of the distribution. The mode represents the most typical value of the distribution, and it should coincide. And it should coincide with existing item. Number two, and the last one, mode is not affected.
It should what? Modeka,
Existing
it
item.
should.
And it should coincide. It should coincide with the existing item. It should coincide. Then the last one, mode is not affected by the presence of extreme large value. By presence of extremes large value. By extreme large values. The mode is not affected by the presence of extreme large values or small. Or the small values. Stroke items. Large values, stroke items, and small values. Now, I think we are kidogo tumalize measure of central tendency. Sasa tunaingia measure of dispersal. Tunabakia kitu kidogo sana. Tumalize measure of central tendency, so that you can jump into measure of dispersal. I think tomorrow we can finish measure of central tendency, na juni yake tuingie measure of dispersal, ng'eng'ane tumalize. So once we finish that one, then I think we shall be fine, so that later we can do squeeness and kurtosis. Squeeness moments, and kurtosis. No, tomorrow let us sacrifice for QA, so that tumalize nao as soon as we can, so that tuingie FM, tuingie econ. So econ tuichangamkie from maybe Thursday and Friday. From Thursday and Friday, maybe next week from Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, so that mfanye revision over the weekend, mfanye weekend hapo mtihani. Now everyone is okay now. Now that's me tomorrow. We shall do mode method 2. So we shall meet, do mode method 2. This is the grouping method. Then tukimaliza tuingie harmonic mean and geometric mean. Then that will be the end of measure of dispersal. That will be the end of measure of dispersal. Not dispersal, sorry, measure of central tendency. So that we get measure of dispersal. Then tumalizie na skewness, moments, and kurtosis. That one is all about it for today. Let us meet tomorrow. Any question?
Yes. Can you please share the economics PDF?
The
Economics PDF.
at the what PDF?
Yeah, economics.
Oh, economic PDF. Sawa sawa. Ziko kando kando. Nitawashare, nitazishare as soon as I can by today. So mnikumbushe kwa group pia. Now that is all about today. Let us meet tomorrow.